Karaoke is a platform for young aspiring singers to shine and express their musical abilities. Tune in to CBC TV8 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. and repeat it on Saturdays at 2 p.m. and enjoy the performances of these talented young singers.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities. Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aa.grant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is, when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthier alternatives, and when in doubt, leave it out.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
98.1 to 1 is more than a station.
We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners.
We're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One. Celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
This is the CBC Morning Report for today, Wednesday, November 15th. I'm Tisha Hines. Good morning. In our top story, government is looking to acquire 7 parcels of land in Work Hall, St. Philip, totaling 4 acres of land to regularize informal housing settlement. Minister of Housing, Lands and Maintenance Dwight Sutherland in the Lower House yesterday spoke of the squatting and being cut off from good infrastructure. He says they're working class citizens, and in an effort to give them affordable and resilient housing, they have capped the price of the land.
We recognize that in an effort to empower and enfranchise our people at the lower end of the spectrum, we have indeed to provide affordable and resilient housing. Prior to us coming to office, we can easily say that the price of land in this country were in the teens, the cost per square feet. We could not get any land below $15 a square foot, $12 a square foot. And when we analyze working class people, persons who taking home on average $2,500 a month net, even as high as $3,000 a month net. And we are speaking idly about empowering these persons by selling them lands at $25 a square foot in rural Barbados and urban Barbados. Do the math, Mr. Speaker. It clearly was not adding up. So we had to create a policy when coming to office and announcing. We went to Cabinet and approved by the colleagues here. Then we came to Parliament and we said, the price of land for working class people will be capped at a maximum of $12 a square foot. And the price of services will be capped at $5 a square foot.
However, he pointed out that this figure is still high, so they're selling the land at the freehold tenantry's price.
We know very well, Mr. Speaker, that if you break that down to dollars and cents, that is still relatively high. But we are catering to different income groups. So we recognize the need to address settlements like this and sell the land to our people based on the Freehold Tenantries Purchase Act that was implemented by this government at $2.50 a square foot maximum. So, Mr. Speaker, there are, as we say, horses for courses, and we indeed have enunciated and implemented policies to address the plight of our working class people and persons who live in these settlements. I am a fan of St. Philip. I spend a lot of time with my dear friend traversing the nooks and the crannies of St. Philip.
The minister again defended government's position to provide housing options for squatters, despite some public opposition.
We have the naysayers going on the call-in programs and seeking to minimize the value that we have brought to this country in addressing informal settlements. Who live in these informal settlements? People, working class people, poor people, who cannot buy land at $12 a square foot or $15 a square foot, and who rely on us to create policy that their children can live comfortable in this country. And that is where I'm going, because you hear the naysayers. And I have to be fair to some people in this country who are ignorant to the facts, and who, when you explain to them, they say, yes, I understand where you're going and I understand what this government is doing. Because you will hear a person say they're going to give people a house who were squatting. We're not giving the people a house. We're providing the opportunity that they can own their homes. It's not free, but at the end of the day, we still have to make sure that we cater to those persons in informal settlements.
Well, coming up on the CBC Morning Report, the American president being sued over the war in Gaza.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, general practitioner and healthy lifestyle advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school. And don't just pack things you think they should have. Have a discussion and come up with things that you both know they will enjoy.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing.
The President of the United States and 2 of his cabinet members are being sued for failing to prevent and aiding and abetting genocide in Gaza. More than 11,200 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza since Israel launched attacks on October 7th. This followed a Hamas attack in Israel, in which about 1,200 people were killed.
As the United Nations mourns the death of more than 100 staff members in Gaza, the UN's host country and largest donor is being sued for its role in the war. United States President Joe Biden, Secretary of State Antony Blinken, and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin are accused of failing to prevent and aiding and abetting genocide. The lawsuit in federal court was filed by a nonprofit legal organization.
They have a significant responsibility under customary international law, under federal law, to prevent this genocide, to stop supporting this genocide. And every step of the way, at every opportunity, they have failed. They have continued to provide cover to Israel. They have continued to provide material support to Israel. And currently, they intend to send more money and more weapons to Israel.
Plaintiffs in the case include U.S. citizens with family in Gaza, like Layla Al-Haddad, who's lost 5 family members there since October 7th and has several more struggling to survive.
I paid for Israel to kill my cousins and my aunt. There's no two ways around it. It was my tax dollars that did that, that sent those bombs to Israel to kill my family. And so I feel I and all other American taxpayers have a very unique responsibility to hold our government and our elected officials responsible.
The Convention on the Prevention of Genocide was unanimously adopted by the UN General Assembly in 1948, but was not formally ratified by U.S. Congress until 1988 in legislation that was sponsored by then-Senator Joe Biden. In addition to finding the leaders in violation of the law, the lawsuit calls for relief in the form of ending the United States' $3.8 billion in annual military support to Israel. The White House has yet to respond to our request for comment on the case. While it would be unusual for the U.S. judiciary to rule on U.S. policy abroad, lawyers say there is extensive evidence to support their case, and that it's not just a matter of saving lives, but one of international law and order.
Meanwhile, housing conditions for displaced people in Gaza are deteriorating as cold temperatures, rain, and shortage of supplies are being reported.
As rain is bearing down right now across the Gaza Strip, the situation and the humanitarian condition of displaced people are really deteriorating as they have no any other safe place to be protected in, and even they don't have the capabilities in order to protect their families, themselves, and the babies from the great rate of rain that has been dropped and even fallen over the Gaza Strip. Those people are now taking shelter, the majority of the displaced people, due to the war, as the war has displaced more than 1.6 million Palestinians to the southern areas. Now the majority of them are taking shelters in United Nations schools, and meanwhile they are really witnessing dire humanitarian situation as they are not yet enough protected, and there are insufficient items in order to protect those families, including blanket, mats, and those essential items that people usually have at winter, and also those people have been broken financially due to the ongoing Israeli destruction of the houses, and even after more than 30 days of relentless bombardment between both parts inside the Gaza Strip. So with rain still bearing down the Gaza Strip, the situation is getting much more dire as a number of refuge centre in Rafah district has sunk in with rain due to the showering amount of rains that had been falling over the territory. So which means also that the situation in those hospitals is getting much more deterioration, as yet no international intervention had made in order to afford them with the sufficient need to protect themselves and their families.
It's time now to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. Sean Clark of Supreme Counseling for Personal Development will be in as we look at mental health generally, but mental health with children specifically. Billy June Langdon will be in to talk to us about the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust and all of the work they're doing toward the Christmas season and beyond. We're also going to be sharing with you through ECA about a new Sargassum symposium that is coming up here in Barbados. So listen out for that and a whole lot more at 6:30. But next, we have more news, sports, and weather. Stay with us.
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8. It's Match Day Live from the 246 with host Damian Best. Your all-access pass to the action happening in the BFA Premier League and beyond. Every last Monday of the month on CBC TV8. Kickoff time, 8:30 p.m. with analysis from our panel and highlights of the top performances. You can weigh in on the discussion via WhatsApp on 228-5562. It's Match Day Live from the 246. Don't you miss it.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
Barbados is once again expected to deliver a strong performance this winter tourist season. The outlook from the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association came during its quarterly media briefing. CBC's Shakira Griffith reports.
For the second straight year, bookings for the winter tourist season are looking positive as the island rebounds from the COVID-19 pandemic.
Business on the books, as reported by a significant sample of our members, is for November, 73%, December, 70%, January next year, 63%, February, 62%, March, 50%, and April, 35%. I remind you, this is business on the books, not projections. Compared to our projections or business on the books for the same period last year, which were November 75%, December 2022 67%, January 23 66%, February 23 72%, and March 55 and April 37 respectively. So just to compare, we were slightly ahead in some months last year, slightly behind in some months, but we're looking at, we believe, it's going to be an overall similar performance for this winter. We're expecting a strong winter.
BHTA Chairman Renee Coppin also touched on the critical matter of airlift. Overall, for 2023, Barbados is trailing behind 2019 levels by more than 176,000 seats. But the BHTA head believes the island is trending in the right direction, particularly out of the United Kingdom for the current winter season.
These increases from the UK are driven by four key factors. The first is that North Atlantic is committed to 5-time-a-week service from London Gatwick. The second, Virgin Atlantic going double daily from London Heathrow for January to March 2024. The third, a record amount of charter flights from London Gatwick, Manchester, Birmingham, and so on. And then the fourth is that British Airways is increasing Heathrow flights for April 2024.
Significant progress is also being reported in improving airlift within Latin America and the Caribbean, due in large part to a huge increase in inter-Caribbean flights, Virgin Atlantic's regional flights from Barbados, Copa from Panama, which will go to 4 flights a week from January, and also the newly introduced Cayman Airways service. The 2023-2024 cruise season has also started in earnest.
Barbados is seeing ships arriving at 100% capacity. This has the expected knock-on effect, as on busy days, the Bridgetown port, the taxi operators and retail sector all benefit. Areas such as Carlisle Bay Beach are buzz, with all the operators and establishments reporting strong sales.
According to the Central Bank of Barbados, tourism continues to be the main driver of economic growth. Tourist expenditure increased by $333.2 million from January to September when compared to the same period last year. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Cybersecurity continues to be an issue affecting even some major local companies. Reports indicate Unicommer Trading at Quartz and PriceSmart are two of the companies targeted by hackers in recent months. Managing Director of Quartz, Tricia Tanis, confirmed her company had a data breach 2 months ago. She says they contacted the clients who were affected.
A certain entity representing to be a cybersecurity expert has essentially been circulating information on an old breach that has already been previously communicated directly to the affected customers as well as the data commissioner in compliance with the data protection laws of Barbados. Because the entity has circulated, it is now coming across as if it is a new event. But it is actually an old event that has already been remedied. As we have advised our customers, 2 months ago, over 2 months ago, it is a breach that occurred on a third-party platform.
The furniture and home appliance dealer has since closed the platform which supported their old e-commerce website and parted ways with the service provider. Ms. Tanis says they have migrated to another platform and taken additional measures to protect client information. She adds that they apologize to all affected customers and will be pursuing the matter.
Customers who were impacted were already communicated with months ago. We can assure the public, though, that it is only those customers that have been impacted and the situation is limited to the e-commerce platform and not any other customer information coming through brick and mortar. We will be looking and exploring all legal remedies available to us.
Efforts to get a comment from PriceSmart have so far been futile. With shipments of eggs on the way to Barbados, Minister of Agriculture, Food and Nutritional Security, Indar Ware, has sought to calm fears over the availability of the produce for the festive holiday season. Speaking in Parliament yesterday, he says some 6 containers are due on island.
One of the suppliers that provided most of the eggs had to shut down simply because of the heat. No fault of anybody's own. It's part of the kind of crisis. But you will have eggs because the eggs are here. They're coming. Mr. Speaker, the same goes for poultry. I've already asked for them to ramp up. Hatching, you have a 6 to 9 weeks period. So if you ramp up your hatching, sir, and then you do your supplementation, because we know already that we have to continue to get chicken wings.
A warning: the Caribbean is the victim of the middle-income country curse. Guyana's Minister Dr. Ashley Singh reminded the World Bank and other multilateral financial institutions the region still needs debt relief and concessional financing. But he was at the time participating in a regional discussion facilitated by the World Bank. TVG reports.
The finance minister noted that the tendency to disqualify middle-income countries in the Caribbean from concessional financing is a problem.
It is well known in the region that we have a serious problem with indebtedness, and we are not being treated with the seriousness that the matter deserves because of what I've called the middle-income illusion. There is an illusion of prosperity because many of our countries are middle-income countries. Our per capita income is above the specified thresholds. We don't qualify for the typical treatments that low-income countries would get, both in terms of consideration for debt relief and also consideration for concessional development financing. And this is a problem.
The finance minister called on international development partners to improve access to concessional financing. He also urged the region to explore innovative ways to garner financing and alluded to Guyana's leadership in the carbon credit sale initiative.
The issue of debt sustainability in the Caribbean has to be addressed, and intellectual effort has to be devoted to articulating why the Caribbean is different and why the peculiar and extraordinary vulnerability that we face through no fault of ours. I see my friend and brother, Minister Gonzalez, in the lineup of speakers ahead of me. Minister Gonzalez has often said that he borrows to build a bridge, then he gets a hurricane, he borrows to repair the bridge, then he gets another hurricane and he borrows to repair the same bridge a second time. And it's one bridge, and he ends up paying 3 loans for that same bridge because he needs the bridge.
The minister further noted that the issues of debt sustainability and productive diversification must be confronted.
In sports, hosts India are off to a flying start in the ongoing First Cricket World Cup semi-final against New Zealand. After winning the toss at the stadium in Mumbai, India are 178 for 1 after 25 overs. Shubman Gill has retired hurt on 79 with 8 fours and 3 sixes. At the crease are Virat Kohli on 45 and Shreyas Iyer on 4. Skipper Rohit Sharma made a quick 47 off just 29 deliveries, inclusive of 4 fours and 4 sixes. The match is live on MCTV's ESPN channel 308. Head coach Andre Kohli has described the upcoming West Indies A-team tour to South Africa as an opportunity for players to gain more international experience outside of the Caribbean region. The West Indies A will play 3 4-day test matches against South Africa A from the 21st of November to December 8th. CBC's Anmar Goodrich Boyce has more.
Speaking to CBC Sports this morning at the Sun Bay Hotel, Kohli said the squad had limited preparation time due to the recently concluded regional Super 50 competition. Nevertheless, he explained that Cricket West Indies' biggest aim is to continue developing quality red ball players who can compete in different conditions and gain positive results.
Part of the strategic plan for the A team is to ensure that we use it appropriately. When I say that, I mean find opportunities where our current players can benefit from that experience, as well as emerging players who are aspiring to play international cricket, exposing them as well, and then just working with the selection panel to be able to find that balance, because we're still looking to compete, we're still looking to win on the tour, but in the main it is about exposing our players.
It's time now for a look at the weather. The barometric pressure stands at 1011.5 millibars. It's currently 27.1 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity stands at 84%, and the winds are blowing out of the east-southeast at 28 kilometers per hour. Present weather fair with slight haze. Sea conditions moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2 meters. And here's a look at how your tides roll in today. Do be careful as you head out for your early morning sea bath. Today, Barbados will be a mix of sunshine and clouds with the occasional breeze, scattered light showers. Into the evening period, can expect clear with cloudy periods with the occasional scattered light showers. And that's the morning report. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations on 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. It's time now for Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed. It's Wednesday, November 15th. Morning Barbados. Good to have you with us on this gorgeous day, another beautiful day in paradise here in Barbados. So we have a grand show planned for you today. Lots to get through, so we're going to get moving without any further ado and let you know exactly what you can expect. NIFCA, Music in the Square, we're going to tell you more about that as Kevin Moore and Aisha Butcher of the National Cultural Foundation come through to share more with us. We're also introducing some health tips with the compliments of Glucerna, so you want to make sure you listen out for those as well. And not only listen, but make sure you adhere to these tips because they're really meant to help us get healthy. The Spirit of the Nation show is coming up this weekend. We're going to have Chloe Cullimore, Most Outstanding Parish Ambassador for 2022, along with her counterpart, Paul Cato, and attendant Tony Pompey, who's Attendant of the Year 2022. They'll all be here for the Spirit of the Nation show to talk about it. That's coming up on Saturday. Reflect on the last year and how they served with dignity and how they're moving forward and sharing with the new crop of ambassadors. Also on today's show, let's talk HR with Hermab, and Yolande Hilton is going to be in. Today we're looking at employee development and growth and recognizing that that's at the heart of performance management. So we definitely look forward to that discussion. Now, the CEO and Chairman of Supreme Counseling for Personal Development, Sean Clark, is going to be in as well as we look toward the seminar series that's coming up again this weekend. They're going to be over at the Princess Margaret School. So they're encouraging you to come on over to Six Roads and be a part of it. The topic is preserving my family's mental health. We definitely need that now more than ever. So we look forward to speaking with him. And we're talking about the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust with Billy June Langdon, Public Relations officer with that trust. She is telling us about their initiative to raise some funds as they look to the busy Yuletide season to help their clients. The Sokogo's Gold 5. We're going to tell you more about that too. But we want to get started this morning with something we've been seeing in the news quite recently, coming out of ICA. So we're going to welcome the representative in Barbados for the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture, Alistair Glean, along with technical assistant with ICA, Chantel Seeley. And we're talking about 2 sessions to be held by ICA on Sargassum seaweed. It's entitled Sargassum Symposium, Agricultural Applications of Sargassum and the Role of Agri-Food Business in Promoting Circular Economy, Successes from Entrepreneurs and SMEs. It's a mouthful, but we're going to try to get in as much as we can, as quickly as we can in this session. Good morning to both of you and welcome.
Good morning, Tisha. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Good morning,
Welcome.
Tisha. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. I want to start with you, Alistair. Talk to us a little bit about, to follow up on what you've said about Sargassum. Basically, what was said in the news is you're looking toward getting it off of our beaches and onto our farms. Qualify that for us.
Oh, that's fantastic. I really would like to refer to my colleague Chantel to discuss that, but let me just say in a nutshell, we recognize that sargassum is a problem, and there are various agencies that are seeking to address this scourge that's affecting our beaches and the tourism sector. But we also recognize that there are opportunities for the uptake of sargassum, the use of sargassum by the farming community. And we're talking about this in the context of the circular economy. How can we use this item that is causing so much havoc for the tourism sector? How can we use it to benefit the farmers of Barbados and the region generally? And we have a host of experts who are going to share their research findings and outline how we can actually use sargassum to benefit the farming community. And then again, as I said, it's all part of this concept of a circular economy. So maybe my colleague Chantal can share a bit more on what we're going to do with the sargassum.
Absolutely. Over to you, Chantel. I'm very interested in finding out. I mean, we've been hearing throughout the years from different parts of the world, and most seeing it online, about how people have been more or less repurposing sargassum. So, talk about the move here to be able to do the same.
Yes, please. This afternoon from 1 to 3 p.m., we're going to have our webinar on sargassum and the agricultural applications of the seaweed. We have several specialists, some from CERMES, as well as CRFM, UE, St. Augustine, as well as Cave Hill. And they will all speak to the areas that they have thoroughly researched in order to allow farmers to be able to utilize sargassum on their farms. Because we've noticed that there are several uses of sargassum. For instance, it has pest repellent properties, it has soil ameliorant properties, as well as composting properties.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the people who will be participating in this seminar.
Yes, please. So from Cardi, we have Mrs. Shadeen Beckles. We also have Mr. Bruce Searle, who is from the New Zealand Plant and Food Research Department. We also have Dr. Payne from CERMES. We have Professor Jaya Raman from UE St. Augustine. And we also have a specialist from ICA by the name of Dr. Chinese St. Martin, who is a soil specialist. We have Mr. Joshua Fort, who is the founder of Red Diamond Compost. And we also have someone from NCC who will speak to the collection and storage of sargassum.
All right, Mr. Glean, I don't know if this will have to go to you or Chantal, but where are we in terms of, this is a discussion, obviously, in moving toward making it happen, being turning the sargassum into products that we can use. Where are we along in the process?
Well, to be frank with you, as I indicated to some other colleagues recently, that's where we want the experts to guide us. Now, the research findings are there. There are benefits, but it is how we utilize the sargassum. We have to do it in a safe manner in order to allow the farmers to benefit. And we are pretty far along. The concern now is how do we move from the talk and the dialogue to action? How do we make the sargassum available to our farmers in a sustainable manner? And I think after today's session, we should be a lot further down the road in terms of having the farmers uptake and utilize the sargassum. Ultimately, as I said, we want to encourage the establishment of a circular economy here in the region, an economy that would allow us to reduce the waste and all the recycling as needed. We want to expose our farmers to more of that. And we want to look at the regeneration of resources and development of products, etc. And I think ultimately, if we are talking about attaining benefits and the 25 by 25 initiative, reducing the reliance on imported products, then we need to find ways to ramp up our production. We need to find ways to be more efficient and effective, and that's from the production side. And of course, sargassum can contribute to improve production. As Chantal would have shared, the sargassum can be used as a biostimulant, etc. So it is now for us to really hand over this knowledge to the farmers so they can move from just hearing about this talk to seeing how we can really utilize it as best as possible.
How has sargassum generally affected islands across the Caribbean? And I know that you also have an arm in Latin America. The places that have been affected most by sargassum, how has it affected the economies of these various countries through the years?
Well, admittedly,
I can speak a bit to that.
Okay, Chantal, you go ahead.
Okay. We don't have the statistics to date, but after speaking to persons from the fisheries sector, we know that they have been severely impacted. For instance, when they're hauling their boats, the sargassum tends to wrap around the propellers and affects the boats. And it also affects the nets, so it really affects the infrastructure in the fishing sector. In terms of tourism, the accumulation of sargassum also really affects the tourism sector because, tourists, they don't like to see what they would consider an eyesore, which is the sargassum just accumulated. And then we have the flies. As the sargassum begins to degrade, so the flies would be attracted to the sargassum. And that would impede swimming as well as other fishing and beach activities.
Absolutely. So definitely some direct ways that sargassum has affected us through the years. Now, for the symposium, we've talked about the more or less high-level participants. Can average people attend, be a part of it, or who are you targeting specifically with this symposium?
We want to transfer knowledge. Let me take this one, Chantal. We want to transfer knowledge to all persons, but we're primarily targeting the farming community. We want to have the farmers get this information. We want to support the work of the Ministry of Agriculture to increase production across the country. So the persons that will benefit the most from this are the farmers. But of course, we want the average person to join because the average person, if they get the information, they can properly utilize the sargassum seaweed in their backyard gardens, and they can have a better appreciation for this particular item that's impacting everyone across the country. So all persons, and of course, primarily our farming community.
All right, you wanted to add something, Chantal?
No, please. I was going to say something similar to what Mr. Glean said.
Okay, wonderful. Now this, the topic is pretty wide, and I know that we deal with the agricultural applications of sargassum, but there is a second part to that, the role of agri-food business in promoting circular economy. Will that all be tied together, or are you going to separate and discuss and then talk about the, how the linkages, Mr. Glean?
Thank you for that, Tisha. That is great that you made the differentiation. On Thursday, we are going to have a session from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. that looks at this issue of the circular economy. And this is a session that we're going to do in collaboration with COLEAD. And COLEAD stands for the Community Linking Entrepreneurship, Agriculture and Development. And we are going to join with our colleagues at COLEAD to discuss the issue of the circular economy. We're going to feature businesses from across the region, including Red Diamond, which Chantel alluded to, managed by Joshua Fort, to see how we can explore or identify our SMEs engage in that circular economy process, recycling, reusing, utilizing waste and getting byproducts to benefit the sector and to benefit SMEs across the region. So we're going to have players from the Bahamas who are utilizing coconut in all its forms, persons from Antigua and Barbuda doing tilapia and organic food production. And as I said, we have Joshua Ford from Barbados, who is using Sargassum as a biostimulant. So that's going to be an exciting session on Thursday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we're inviting everyone, businesses, interested persons, researchers, marketers, to join and understand what these businesses are doing. And they're all working towards, as I said, how they can enhance food security across the region.
It also sounds like it's an opportunity for people who are looking to get into other areas of business, to garner some much needed ideas as to where they can go and what the opportunities might be in the agri-food business, as you mentioned, moving into the circular economy, and most certainly how Sargassum can be repurposed.
No, you're quite correct, because there are significant opportunities to allow us to recycle and utilize food waste and look at local sourcing. For instance, we have a youth farm program that we do annually. And this year we were able to supply chickens to a local hotel, the Coconut Court Beach Hotel. We recognize that they can undertake, the businesses, more circular packaging and biodegradable and reusable products. We have a project with the European Union and it supports SPS development and utilization among businesses across the region. And in Barbados, there's a company, O's Products, that they are utilizing new packaging that allows us to be more environmentally friendly, etc. So there are significant opportunities. Byproduct utilization. Some of our colleagues, we understand that some of the businesses in Barbados, like Monge, they're exploring some of these issues. And of course, community engagement and sharing of information. And we see the Barbados Agricultural Society very much leading the charge in that particular area. So there are a lot of opportunities. Admittedly, Tisha, there are challenges as well because persons need the information. We need incentives. We need investment, more investment in the sector so that we can have more of this circular economy to take advantage of the opportunities that you highlighted.
All right, wonderful. We want to thank you for coming and sharing with us. The symposium will be held virtually today, Wednesday, 15th of November from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and tomorrow, Thursday, 16th of November from 10 to 12. Of course, you just need to visit the ECO website, and I'm sure you'll be able to navigate a link from there. Thank you so much, Alistair Glean and Chantal Seeley, for sharing with us this morning.
Thank you, Tisha. It's always a pleasure to be on.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Wonderful. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're talking NIFCA 50, and we're telling you about music in the square. That's all next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Kids Karaoke is a platform for young aspiring singers to shine and express their musical abilities. Tune in to CBC TV8 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. and repeat it on Saturdays at 2 p.m. and enjoy the performances of these talented young singers.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together build.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
at all. No good. Then you hear what I say, you're no good. Oh, and I need you, I want you, got to help you, child. With God in heaven, you know I love you.
I hope you know I love you when I say I love you
too. You are my weakness, you I want to hold and caress, yeah. Come with me, girl.
Well, everything nice, we having the time of our life right now in the morning vibes, real vibes, nice, real nice, real nice.
Got love, I've got 10 tons of love. So if you ever need it, baby, I've got love.
Some familiar faces there from the Square, and of course, the NCF has been celebrating some musical icons every single week in the Square. Last week was no different. This week will be no different. Help me welcome Mr. Kevin Moore, the cultural officer with the most. He is the Officer for Music Education at the NCF, and Aisha Butcher, cultural officer for Musical Organization. They're joining us again this morning to talk about how excellent the last few weeks have been. Good morning, guys. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, it's beautiful to see you. And how wonderful was it to see so many younger faces and younger voices, you know, lending their talent to the celebration of a musical icon like the late Jackie Opal. Talk to us about Music in the Square and how it's been going, Kevin.
Music in the Square has been going really well. We have 2 editions so far in this series. We had the James Millington night on the 3rd of November, and last week we had the Jackie Opal night, and that went really, really great. All the young performers, all the young artists, mixed with experienced artists. The band sounds lovely, and the audience seems to love it. And we're in for a show this week again, our final installation in the Music in the Square series, Icon Nights for this year, the Sir Emil Straker night on Friday at 6 p.m. at Golden Square Freedom Park. And we're celebrating his work, his life, his extensions. And by extensions, I mean all of the work that he would have influenced, not just his work, not just the sound of the Merrymen, not just the sound of Sir Emil Straker, but the work of the groups that would have come from his benefit, the groups that would have taken his influence and taken their artistry, or the artists that would have taken their artistry based off his influence to another level.
Oh, wonderful. Now he's laid the groundwork. Aisha, you have to put the icing on the cake. How are things shaping up for this week's presentation? And not to discriminate, but you know, I told you guys, for me, Sir Emil is it. I cannot wait for Friday.
Well, things are shaping up really well. We have the band rehearsal today, actually, so we'll get to see all of the performers there for that first run through, and then we head into the technical indie space tomorrow, just to fine tune everything for Friday's amazing evening. And the cast that we have, just like the ones that went prior, will be amazing. So we have Shian, we have Mylon Clark, we have Hashim Durant, we have Renan, we have Sammy G, we have the Modern Girl Voice Project. We have so many amazing talents in various instrumentations, so the vocals, the pan, the sax. We have Winter Harper as well. So when they come now and put their style onto the music, because you know, once we internalize it and put it out, it comes from within. So it would just be an amazing show coming through all the years of Calypso. We have definitely will be paying homage to Sir Emil Straker and all that he would have done, and as Kevin said, influenced us as the younger persons as well as the experience. So that show will be amazing, and can't wait to end with a bang this Friday.
Absolutely. Kevin, did you hear Aisha talking about influence us as younger people?
Yes, please. I definitely holding on to that and keeping that.
All right. But she made a very interesting point, because seeing so many younger faces, and I was noting some of the names down, it wasn't to dismiss that Biggie was there and some of the the other known performers, but I was heartened to see Bit Bit performing a piece from, the late icon, Kyrique Aline, who is the winner of Beige to the World. I saw Daniel in there, who usually does reggae music, a Santa Blossom. I saw Young Harmony. So it really is heartening that we're able to, in this way, share the musical works of our icons with a new crop of performers.
Not just a showcase, but it's also developmental. It's also educational. Enough of these younger artists would not have performed the music of Jackie before. They probably heard it. They probably heard someone saying it, but to learn the words, speak it down, perform it, and render it in a way that represents his style and represent what he would have done, or the music that came from his style. A lot of it would not have been done before. So it's also an educational and developmental aspect in showcasing the work of these icons to the younger persons who would be the exponents of music in Barbados. As you mentioned, Daniel is known for his reggae exploits. I think I would have said it to Aisha at one of our rehearsals. Many persons mistake Daniel for a lot of Jamaican artists. A lot of Daniel's music is taken as Jamaican music. Come Away is a Bajan song. Many people think that it is not. So it was definitely a pleasure to have him on the show, and for the influence that Jackie Opel had on reggae, not just in Barbados but in Jamaica, it was good to show his influence on Spooge, his work in Spooge, reggae, and its development throughout the Caribbean.
I can't wait to see Sir Emil, like I told you, Aisha, and I think it will be interesting how we're able to repurpose and still pay homage to Sir Emil with his amazing music through the years that really documents who we are. A lot of it is all about Barbados. It's really about loving up on Barbados. I'm so interested to see how you guys are going to be able to kind of reinterpret and still, salute the music and present it to this new generation. So, any specifics in terms of how you approached this particular night, especially since this icon is still with us?
Yes, definitely. And a lot of it, we have our vision. We also have to definitely thank those artists who take our vision and make it a reality. So we would have gone from the beginning all the way through. We have the traditional sound, because you have to remember where you come from. Then we have a look at the fusions, because that's what he would have done, a lot of fusions that worked, and it's just an amazing, beautiful song that you just want to swing, you feel good in it. And then you have the more up-tempo stuff. So we are going to go through that entire list of his work and put that on stage, and the artists have bought into it, and that is what is important. So once they bought into it, it will just be an amazing show. They understand what we're looking for, they understand who we're celebrating. So seeing that come to life between these next few days, and then definitely on the Friday, will be something amazing for everyone to come and witness.
Absolutely. So let's talk, timing and so on in terms of when we should get there. I love that it's in the heart of Bridgetown, in the square. It just lights up the place with music. So let's talk about, what time we need to get there and all of that other wonderful stuff, Kevin.
Yes, please. The event begins at 6. If I were you, I'll get there before 6. And we generally run till around 8 p.m. Just after 8. If you get there at 8, you would have missed the meat of the show. Most of the show, I'm telling you. So get there just before 6. Come after work, come after school, come and enjoy music in the square. We tribute to Sir Emil Straker.
All right, and for you, Aisha, you have the final words encouraging us to, well, you don't have to encourage me. Because I definitely will be there for a lot of the nights. And I know for some people, we had some showers and so on. And I sat in my car and I was still able to enjoy the music and listen in. So it just generally is a really, really great initiative. So last word from you in terms of encouraging everyone to come out and be a part of it.
Yes, please. So this Friday, I just want everyone to come on down to Golden Square at 6 p.m. As Kevin said, you could come a bit earlier. Make sure you secure your seat. It will be an amazing show. This is the third and final Nifka Music New Square Icon Night. Certain Muse Striker. And if you weren't able to make the first one or the second one, definitely you would want to come down this Friday in Golden Square. It will be an amazing show, much like the others. You've been hearing all the hype, and it is hype for a reason. It is exactly what happens at Music in the Square. An amazing show, an amazing showcase of our talent, of our work, the influence, and just honoring our icons, the influence they've had on all the musicians in the musical landscape. Just amazing show. And we cannot wait to see you there.
Absolutely. I have one final question. Is Sir Emil going to be there?
I'm sure that members of his family. I'm sure that members of his family has been invited. I'm sure that Sir Emil, has been invited as well.
All right, wonderful. I've been trying to make a list of all the songs that I want to hear, and there are just too many to mention. I'm sure we're going to enjoy it from start to finish. Get there early. So this is an occasion for you to leave work and head on over. Thank you so much, Kevin and Aisha, taking care of all of our musical needs over there at the National Cultural Foundation. I'll see you on Friday.
Thank you.
See you then.
Make sure you come out to Golden Square as the NCF continues in this 50th year to celebrate our musical icons. This Friday is Sir Emil Straker. I don't know, what's your favorite Sir Emil song? I think for me is a toss-up between Big Bamboo and the Nut Seller. I don't know, but there's so many wonderful songs. We're going to take a break here on Morning Barbados and give you an update of the news. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aa.grant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
2 minutes after 7 o'clock, time for an update of the news. Government is looking to acquire 7 parcels of land in Work Hall in St. Philip, totaling 4 acres of land to regularize informal housing settlement. Minister of Housing, Lands and Maintenance, Dwight Sutherland, in the Lower House yesterday, spoke of the squatting and being cut off from good infrastructure. He says they're working-class citizens, and in an effort to give them affordable and resilient housing, they have capped the price of land.
We recognize that in an effort to empower and enfranchise our people at the lower end of the spectrum, we have indeed to provide affordable and resilient housing. Prior to us coming to office, we can easily say that the price of land in this country were in the teens, the cost per square feet. We could not get any land below $15 a square foot, $12 a square foot. And when we analyze working class people, persons who taking home on average $2,500 a month net, even as high as $3,000 a month net, And we are speaking idly about empowering these persons by selling them lands at $25 a square foot in rural Barbados and urban Barbados. Do the math, Mr. Speaker. It clearly was not adding up. So we had to create a policy when coming to office and announcing. We went to cabinet and approved by the colleagues here. Then we came to Parliament and we said, the price of land for working class people will be capped at a maximum of $12 a square foot. And the price of services will be capped at $5 a square foot.
Minister Sutherland pointed out, however, that this figure is still high, so they're selling the land at the freehold tenantry's price.
We know very well, Mr. Speaker, that if you break that down to dollars and cents, that is still relatively high. But we are catering to different income groups. So we recognize the need to address settlements like this and sell the land to our people based on the Freehold Tenantries Purchase Act that was implemented by this government at $2.50 a square foot maximum. So, Mr. Speaker, there are, as we say, horses for courses, and we indeed have enunciated and implemented policies to address the plight of our working class people and persons who live in these settlements. I am a fan of St. Philip. I spend a lot of time with my dear friend traversing the nooks and the crannies of St. Philip.
Cybersecurity continues to be an issue affecting even some major local companies. Reports indicate Unicomer trading as Quartz and PriceSmart are two of the companies targeted by hackers in recent months. Managing Director of Quartz, Tricia Tanis, confirmed her company had a data breach 2 months ago. She says they contacted the clients who were affected.
A certain entity representing to be a cybersecurity expert has essentially been circulating information on an old breach that has already been previously communicated directly to the affected customers as well as the data commissioner in compliance with the data protection laws of Barbados. Because the entity is circulated, it is now coming across as if it is a new event, but it is actually an old event that has already been remedied. As we have advised our customers, 2 months ago, over 2 months ago, it is a breach that occurred on a third-party platform.
The furniture and home appliance dealer has since closed the platform which supported their old e-commerce website and parted ways with the service provider. Ms. Tanis says they've migrated to another platform and taken additional measures to protect client information. She adds that they apologize to all affected customers and will be pursuing the matter. Efforts to get a comment on price from PriceSmart have so far been futile. And that's our update of news. Do join us at 12 noon on TV8 for the Newsday program. And we also have The World at 1 coming your way on our radio network of stations on QFM 98.1 The One and 94.7 FM. Morning Barbados continues after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthier alternatives. And when in doubt, leave it out.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's time for the Mornin Barbados Health Tip, brought to you by Glucerna. Bring on the day.
And the health tip this morning focuses on how to manage your pressure. Now, eat a healthy, balanced diet. Reduce your intake of processed foods and foods that are high in salt or sodium. Brought to you by Glucerna. Bring on the day.
The Morning Barbados Health Tip was brought to you by Glucerna. Bring on the day.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so just about 10 minutes after 7 o'clock coming up this weekend, the Spirit of the Nation show is coming off at the Wilde Gymnasium. I don't know if you have your colors together, but you absolutely should. Let me tell you, in 2022, St. Lucie made a clean sweep. They took Attendant of the Year and Most Outstanding Parish Ambassadors too. So they have lots to defend in 2023. We're going to salute the ones who are celebrating a year of winning, because it's time to crown some new people. Chloe Cullimore is Most Outstanding Parish Ambassador 2022, as is Paul Cato. So congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
And Tony Pompey is Attendant of the Year 2022. Congratulations to you, Mr. Pompey.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's take a look back, Chloe, reflect a little bit on the last year, or even before then. What interested you in the entire program? Why did you decide to become an ambassador?
Well, I was always aware of the program because they would have visited me in church or like church camp or anything. So I always knew about the parish ambassadors and the program and the standard that the St. Lucie Parish Independence Committee upholds. Since everybody is so like tight-knit within that committee and as well as inside the parish, so I always knew of it. What really pushed me though was me wanting to get outside of my comfort zone and really like start knowing who I am and developing personally as well as professionally, because I'm not a person that would like to speak so much. So the time that I would see them at church and they would be speaking and they would be telling us about what their project was for that year, so that really inspired me to want to develop in that way. So I made a decision. It wasn't very last minute or anything, but I made the decision like quickly, like, you know what, this is something I'm going to do this year, and yeah, that was it.
Oh, wonderful. And what a decision it was, because here you are a year on having been acknowledged in this particular way. What about you, Paul? What has the last year been like for you? Because I would imagine it doesn't end. You know, when you step off of that stage at the Wilde Gymnasium, there's lots to be done. And I know the community is working year round.
Yes, please. So the last year we have done a variety of stuff. We still continue to support the St. Lucie PIC, of course, but we did the introduction to the new ambassadors into the program. We also did ad for the youth parade, which was a few weeks ago. Yes, please. So we did the introduction for that. We also did parish talent. We did some promoting on the radio station, 94.7. So it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot that you still do after you have won the program.
Oh, that's beautiful. And Tony Pompey is the Attendant of the Year. What does being an attendant entail, and how were you able to cop this title?
Being an attendant, first and foremost, is having the presence of oneself and being able to mentor and being responsible to lead. Not lead from the front, you lead from the back. You're in business, we call it a silent partner. So basically, you help the ambassadors chart their path or chart their way along their ambassador tenure. You help them. For me, I try to provide a safe space emotionally so that my ambassadors can grow or should grow. It's very important to understand that once you become an ambassador, you only have one shot, one chance at doing your best. So with that knowledge, I tried my best to make sure that the environment that they went into were around were positive, and that they had all the resources they needed to be successful.
How did you get into being a part of the program, working with the Parish Independence Committee?
Well, my story began in 2010. I was actually a parish ambassador for St. Lucie then, and as Chloe said, the standards in St. Lucie are very high, very, very high. So I was part of the program then. My partner then was Sadie Maynard, and we worked tremendously hard, and we too became winners in 2010. So I was most outstanding ambassador in 2010. And I really loved the experience, and I decided to give back. And we have a project coordinator, a lovely lady by the name of Janice Springer, who spoke to me and asked me to be a floor member. And I told her okay, but then during that process, she said, you know what, I would love for you to be the attendant. And after some deliberations and talking, I decided, you know what, I'll be the attendant. And after being selected, because there's a selection process, and you're interviewed, and it was interviewed, and it was successful.
Well, I can see why. You definitely seem passionate about it, and you certainly have the experience. You've been to the mountaintop, as in winning, and here you are as top attendant as well. So we have to talk a little bit about the parish now, the parish of St. Lucie, because it's not St. Lucie for you, and it's St. Lucie. And I know firsthand. So do both of you still reside in the parish?
Yes, please.
Bred and born in St. Lucie?
Well, no, I'm a come here, so I moved into St. Lucie. Yeah.
How long have you been in St. Lucie?
About 3 years now.
Okay.
This probably would be like our 3rd year, yeah.
And your thoughts?
St. Lucie is amazing. Amazing. From the friendly people, the bays and beaches, my favorite being Maycox Bay. I go to there every chance I get. I bring my family from all the way in Christchurch to even go there. But St. Lucie is amazing. I don't regret moving to St. Lucie.
Oh, beautiful. What about you, Chloe?
I love it. I don't even want to move out of the parish. I love St. Lucie.
Yeah, what do you love about it? What are some of the fantastic things about the parish that you want the rest of the world to know about?
First of all, the people, like some of the friendliest people that you will ever meet. The people, the beaches, the sites, the food as well. Like I don't think you could find food as good as anywhere else.
Yeah, different food in St. Lucie from the rest of Barbados?
I feel so. I feel so. It don't hit the same.
No, I know you are bred and born, only place you know. So, talk to me about all the wonderful things you love about growing up and living in St. Lucie.
I want to merge it with the program, and the program being part of the program, even being on the committee, exposes you to a different part of St. Lucie, a different environment. We did a tourism product within St. Lucie, I think this year, where we took residents from one part of St. Lucie and gave them an entire tour, and they're in their 50s and 60s, and they're telling us, well, we've lived in St. Lucie all of our lives, and we've never seen these places.
Where do you take them?
We took them to the same Maycox Bay. We took them to the newly renovated area by the lighthouse, the Harrison Point Lighthouse. We took them to the view at Mount View, where Paul is from, and it's a lovely view where you can see from the west all the way over to the east. You can actually see where the whales travel and come over by the Animal Flower Cave. We took them to Cove Bay, Little Bay, some of these points where you can actually see Pico Tenerife, which is over it in St. Peter. And we also have some farms that produce milk. We have our own pottery. So our locals were very amazed and surprised that we have all of these resources and sightseeing places within our own parish.
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. And you'd know, Tony Pompey, that I spent all my summers in St. Lucie as a child growing up. Just in case nobody realized, we're family.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, so, you know, I welcome and love the charm of St. Lucie as well. Just remember it being a really green space, always.
Yes.
Right across the street from your grandmother's house was a big plum tree in Checker Hall. And we used to read that, and, you know, it was just a good, fun time. And then, of course, a great environment, nice, fresh, crisp, clean air. And like you said, the people always very warm and very, very welcoming. It's all about the Spirit of the Nation show coming up this Saturday, the 18th at the Wilde Gymnasium, 6 o'clock. You have to be there representing in your gold for St. Lucie. Gold. Now I don't know. I really don't know what color I'm going to wear. I'm going to have to wear a pretty color shirt. So again, thank you and congratulations on your win in 2022. To you, Chloe and Paul, for most outstanding parish ambassadors. Well deserved. And to Tony Pompey, attendant of the year, 12 years after having taken the title of most outstanding ambassador of the year in 2010 as well. Quite commendable. So congratulations to you.
Thank
and
you
everybody's going to be gunning for St. Lucie. You know
yes,
that, right?
they have to.
Yeah,
St. Lucie's at the
let
top.
them win everything again in 2023. Come out and rep your colors and be a part of it. It gets started at 6 o'clock. Come out, rep, celebrate, and be a part of the celebrations this coming Saturday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Safe travels. Let me know when you get back to St. Lucie tomorrow. I'm kidding. All right, we're going to take a break and come back here on Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Come celebrate 28 years of community independence celebrations at the Spirit of the Nation show at the Wilde Gymnasium on Saturday, November 18th at 6 p.m. See the parish ambassadors in costumes, formal wear, and public speaking segments, the parish talent winners, and so much more. Tickets $20 for adults, $5 for children, available from all Ticket Pal outlets. Come, wear your parish colors. It's going to be a celebration.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
98.1 to 1 is more than a station.
We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners.
And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One. Celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, general practitioner and healthy lifestyle advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 23 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday. Good to have you for Morning Barbados. So it's time to talk HR with Human Resources Management Association of Barbados. And this morning we want to welcome HR consultant and managing director of Hilton Insights, Yolande Hilton. Wonderful to have you with us. Today we're talking all about employee development and growth. And, you mentioned that it's at the heart of performance management. which is pretty interesting. So before we move forward, just go ahead and make that link for us, the link between performance enhancement and then, of course, performance management and development and growth. What's the link between the two?
Good morning. Good morning from Jamaica. So the link between performance management and growth, usually we think about performance management just as the appraisal, but really performance management is an entire process that really dictates what the organizational goals are and how we're going to get employees to get there. And one of the critical elements of performance management is training and development. If it is we want our people to perform, then it's important to invest in their development. So performance management is linked to all areas of HR. It tells us who to recruit. When you do the appraisal, it tells you what opportunities exist for training and development, and if you're on the right track, yes or no. And it's not only beneficial to the employer, but to us as individuals as we're trying to develop and grow our careers.
It's beneficial to the employer a little bit more. These days, we're not seeing as much investment into development and growth from the organizations as we like to see. So talk to us about how organizations can benefit from helping their employees to develop and grow.
Well, there is big benefits to helping their employees develop and grow because, first of all, as you can see, the work environment is changing. The expectation of our people is also changing. And so that culture of learning is something that we need to develop, especially when you think about AI. And I know, don't roll your eyes, AI, we're tired of hearing it, but it is coming. And so it is very important for us to be upskilling and encouraging our persons to learn. It helps with innovation. It helps us in terms of being productive. If you have persons who are not honing and developing their skills, how can your organization move forward? And so if it is that you want to win in the marketplace, you need to win internally. And so that investment in people is going to give you great rewards.
It's important for employees to also invest in themselves. How do we get employees to be more proactive in terms of taking charge of their own development in line with their career goals?
That is an excellent question because sometimes when we're doing these appraisals and also have our individual development plans, as employees, we think that we're doing it for the employer, but it is really also to help us. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How can you grow? And so as individuals, we also need to be reflective of what our needs are, where we want to go with our careers, and set those goals. So of course, we're almost at the end of 2024 and persons are going to be crafting all their New Year's resolutions. And whilst they're doing that, I'd encourage them to create those career goals. What are those skills that you want to develop? It's so easy to start to invest in yourself, whether you want to go to YouTube Academy, do a LinkedIn course, and other free webinars which have been at our fingertips since COVID. And so as people, we also need to look at ourselves and where we want to go with our careers, and that will help. And from the employer standpoint, to start having those conversations. Do not let the individual development plan be a form-filling exercise. When persons can see their growth, when they see other persons moving, when they see that you are invested in them, it will make a difference. And so your individual development also speaks to coaching, getting a mentor, asking for feedback, being willing to volunteer. So it is a symbiotic relationship where I am helping you and you are also helping me.
That's absolutely right. It absolutely has to be inclusive so employees feel like they're a part of it. And some employers, they take a position that they want you to grow in a specific direction. It's important that you work along with your employees to ensure that you're going in the direction that, maybe some middle ground that they want to go, and they're guided by you and not necessarily pushed into a particular area, because that can be an area that, something that you don't want to happen in the business as well. So you talked about a few strategies that you can use to promote organizations can use to promote a culture of learning and growth through the mentorship and all of that other wonderful stuff. Are there any specific sectors or areas that should do this more than others?
I don't think there's any specific area that should do it more than others. All areas of the organization contribute to that whole. So even if you think about a cleaner, we might say cleaners there's somebody who clean need training, but there could be a way for them to be more efficient. So irrespective of where you are in the organization, whether you're the CEO, the cleaner, you're in customer service, there is always an opportunity to hone your skills so that you can get better. So I would not segment it to any specific area. If you think about administrative, the face that you see as you come into an organization is the person who is customer facing. Are they prepared? Are they giving that warm welcome? So if you train at the top and forget the start, then that experience for your customers become horrible. They may not want to come back to interact with those who are you are investing in those solid training. So you can train, you can just be more strategic about what type of training and the level of investment, but training should be across the board.
And training can account for a substantial investment for companies in terms of investing in their employees financially. How do we move toward measuring that return on investment?
So one of the ways you can measure it is in terms of your employee engagement. So one of the main things that individuals are looking for in terms of development, especially as we have a very their diversity in terms of age and the generations within the workforce looking for things that are different. As young persons, they really look at building that brand. Hence, all of us being on LinkedIn and sharing what is happening in terms of our branding and that kind of thing. And so, if you are willing to invest, it will increase your level of retention. So, you're going to look at employee retention, employee engagement, look at your productivity numbers. Are they increasing? So, if you started to invest in sales in January 2023, at mid-year in June 2023, did you see your sales numbers going up? And so there are different facets that you can look at to measure the impact that you are having, and you can continue to do evaluations. One of the things that happens sometimes is we train persons, but when they go back into the environment, organizational environment, they don't have an opportunity to practice what they have learned. And so that continuous aspect of evaluation becomes very important. And unfortunately, that is sometimes missed. So that is another indicator that you can invest in to see what is the impact of training.
Now, I know that you mentioned AI, you said it's coming, but I contend it's already here. So it's important that organizations, when they're building out their strategic plans, that they also look toward the future and look at how they can maybe equip some of their employees to be able to, adequately deal with how things are changing in doing business in the business sector going forward, so that they stay relevant as well. So there are many ways that businesses can benefit from pushing employees toward development and growth initiatives.
Definitely agreed. And it means also being open to change, because that is a big thing, right? We know it is coming. You said it's already here, but that fear of moving forward is keeping us back, not only as individuals, but also from the employer standpoint. So we can feel that we're running away from it, but it is going to come. And so it is best to be proactive and start the conversations now. And it feeds right back into learning. Are you open to learning about AI? Have a challenge within your workplace. Have someone within go and do some research, and during your team meetings every at least 15 minutes you speak about AI. And sometimes I heard you asking about investment earlier, when we think about the big things, and that is going to be a lot of money, but we can be smart and start where we are with the little things. As I mentioned, there are free courses. One afternoon, if there's a course at 3 o'clock, call everybody together and you sit down and watch it. And usually they are not very long. And that is an effective way to start the conversation without necessarily spending big bucks. And so just think about it, be a little bit more strategic, think about different options, think outside of the box, and you can get there without necessarily spending the big money. But
All
the
right.
important thing is to start.
Wonderful. Lots of food for thought for us, lots of things for us to think about as we go into our day. I want to thank you so much, Yolande Hilton, for sharing with us on the importance of development and growth and its link with performance review. I really loved what you said when you said performance review can't be a form-filling, initiative. It really can't be. And that's what we've been seeing a lot in the past. So good to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take another break and come on back here on Morning Barbados. The time is really going by, so stay tuned.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8. It's Match Day Live from the 246 with host Damian Best.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
25 minutes now before 8 o'clock. We have so much to discuss in this next session. I don't even know how we're going to get through it. But let's welcome back Sean Clark, CEO and Chairman of Supreme Counseling for Personal Development. It's always wonderful to have you with us, Sean. So welcome back to Morning Barbados. Thank you. All right. Now, you've been having these seminar series in association with a number of partners. And they've been highly successful.
Yes.
There have been two so far. So give us a review as we look forward to what's coming up this weekend.
Well, we started at the St. Michael's School where we did anger management of my child. That was well attended. The parents, after, they said that they got a lot of information from the session. We've received a few calls from parents saying that they have tried some of the strategies that the psychologist would have suggested. Then we moved to the Allen School where we looked at, I think it was my child's self-esteem. That was also a good session. Now we moved to Princess Margaret Secondary School on Saturday, preserving my family's mental health, which is very, very, very timely.
More than you know. Preserving my family's mental health. Why do you think these sessions are going to be so impactful in getting the message out that you need to get out about? Generally, it's about engaging with your family and your children.
Yes, I think when I first came up with the idea of having the parenting guidelines and decentralizing the services that we offer at Supreme Counseling for Personal Development, I wanted to be able to reach more parents than just taking 15 or 20 parents into a conference room and having a seminar with them. I wanted to be able to reach out to more parents across Barbados because I know that help is needed. I know that parents are trying. We have good parents. They just need help in enhancing their parenting skills. We know that parents want the best for their children and for their families. And I work with a wonderful team of psychologists and counselors that we have the information that we can disseminate to the public.
Absolutely, and I think one of the most impactful things, most certainly for me, has been that parents sometimes feel as though what they're going through with their children is peculiar to them.
Yes.
And that's just not so. Once we start talking, we realize, hey, there are so many other parents who have experienced or are experiencing some of the same problems, and some might be even able to share, how they've been able to deal with or work through, in addition to speaking with you. So let's talk about the logistics for Saturday. You're going to be in St. Philip.
Yes.
At the Princess Margaret School. What time?
We start at 5 p.m. We ask persons to be seated by at least 4:30, 4:35. We are asking parents to come out in their numbers because, yes, all of the topics that we've dealt with so far are very interesting and excuse me, essential to what is happening in our country. But I think this is the time now where parents, and you don't have to be a parent, you can be a grandparent, you can be some person living in the community that looks after the young people within your area. Come out and get this information, because then you can go back and you can share this information with other people within the community that really needs to know how to preserve the mental health of their families.
Let's talk further about the format it will take in terms of how people are able to engage with your team.
Yes. Well, we have some videos that would have been done probably about a year and a half or so ago, utilizing the Arts Department of the Barbados Community College and produced by Mrs. Michelle Cox. And so we use those videos to begin the presentation, and then the panel of professionals supported and guided by yourself, we get into some very serious discussions about the topic. The audience then, they can engage, they can interrupt at any time, ask questions, share ideas, talk about their experiences as well. So it is very engaging and very interactive.
I know you said that you want parents to come, but do you encourage them to bring their little ones along as well?
Yes, I found that for the very first one at the St. Michael's School, parents walked with their children, and that is good as well, for children to get this information firsthand. And to know, so when the parent, it could always be, but you remember what was said at the seminar. So bring the family. We have room to accommodate the entire family at these seminars.
Oh, that's truly excellent. What do you want people to know most about what you're hoping to accomplish in engaging with them in this way? I'm always impressed that you're able to get so many professionals together in one space to be able to share, because even with them, the perspectives sometimes are
Yes.
different. They're vast, so it gives you different options in terms of how you might look at or approach dealing with several challenges that you might have.
And I enjoy that as well. They say that I'm the radical one on the panel each and every time. But it is good for persons to come up, because I think family life is very important. And a lot of what we are going through today is because there have been a breakdown in family life. And it is unfortunate, but it is true that our children are broken. And we need to find ways as a collective to deal with our children, to save our children from what is happening. Again, we have more broken children, unfortunately, than we have professionals. So the parents, families must get involved, communities must get involved. This must be like tourism. It has to be everybody's business.
No, you just showed your age with that. That slogan hasn't been around. That slogan hasn't been around for quite some time, but I get what you mean. I want you to qualify that statement, though. What do you mean children are broken?
Usually when children come to the office every day, even when they're on suspension with our suspension program, and you sit and you hear some of the things that our young people are going through, and you get a feel of why they're being suspended from school, or why they are depressed, why they are anxious. We realize that he's not acting this way because he's delinquent. She's not acting this way because there's nothing better to do. They're not reacting like this because they want to. There's something going on the inside that is bigger than they are. Something going on in the inside that they cannot cope with, they cannot handle, on their own, and they need the help of persons to help them to deal with it. So depression amongst our young people is a big thing. Our young people are depressed. Our young people are anxious. Our young people are suffering with extreme low self-esteem. They don't have the belief in self. Their self-efficacy is so low that they, I cannot get that done. So we really need to work with our young people, because the more we push them in the corner, or the more we ignore or overlook what they have to say, it is only going to get worse for us, and that is the unfortunate reality.
All right, I'm really pleased to be a part of this entire process. Of course, I'll be there on Saturday as well, Princess Margaret School, encouraging everyone to come out. And you have some other amazing partners who are helping to make this possible.
Yes, I must say thank you to the Massey Barbados Foundation, Inc. We also have Acute Sounds coming on board with us for this Saturday. The CHAMP mentoring program is the Community High Achievers Mentoring Program. This is a new initiative in the parish of St. Philip by the Red Foundation, and so they are partnering with us. So we are asking people from St. Philip to come out. So in addition to getting the information on preserving my family's mental health, you can also get some information on the Community High Achievers Mentoring Program. And then there's also CBC, and we have to thank CBC for their input in this initiative.
Absolutely. So this Saturday, make sure you come out in your numbers. Preserving my family's mental health is at 5 o'clock. Come out. The discussion is always rich. The engagement is off the charts. And I mean, it's happening in real time. So we're talking in real terms, as if you're talking to your neighbor. We're bringing it back to the community. And that's why Supreme Counseling is coming to you, because we want to make sure you know that they're making their experts available to you, so we can help solve some of these problems that our young people are experiencing. Preserving my family's mental health, I don't have to tell you how timely that is. Again, it's at 5 o'clock this Saturday, November 18th at the Princess Margaret School. As always, good to see you, Sean.
Likewise.
I'll see you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday.
And I'll see you on Saturday as well. So make sure you're coming out and be a part of it. And we're going to take another break. And when we come back, we're going to tell you about another fantastic initiative that's coming up to benefit youth and young people this Yuletide season and beyond as well. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Mental health is an essential aspect of overall well-being and should be given the same attention and care as physical health. Join Supreme Counseling for Personal Development as they discuss the topic, Preserving My Family's Mental Health. A discussion opened to all parents on Saturday 18th November at the Princess Margaret Secondary School, 6 Roads, St. Philip, commencing at 5 p.m. This is a worthwhile and timely discussion. Join our team of psychologists, psychiatrists, and counselors as we discuss preserving my family's mental health on Saturday, 18th November at the Princess Margaret Secondary School, 6 Roads, St. Philip from 5 p.m. Mark this date. Thanks to Massey Foundation Barbados, Inc., CBC, Acute Sounds, and the Community High Achievers Mentoring Program.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
I'm Anne St. John, a consultant pediatrician. When packing healthy lunch boxes, do include a fruit, which includes a banana, apple, orange, or grapes to supply fiber. Aim for low-calorie packaged snacks without the mention of flour or sugar amongst the first 4 ingredients on the back label. 1 in 3 children in Barbados is affected by overweight or obesity. Let us
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So 12 minutes now before 8 o'clock, we have to welcome Billy June Langdon, Public Relations Officer with the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me, Tisha. Good morning.
Wearing this particular hat today, talking about the trust. Tell us more about the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust. We hear a lot about the work that you do all throughout the community, and I know the work has been intensified since 2020 with all that's been going on.
Yes. Okay, so the Eden Lodge Youth and Charitable Trust, it's a 27-year-old organization. It was founded by our president and our CEO, Mr. Dwayne Grisette. Good morning, Dwayne. I know you're watching. Dwayne's mission and vision for the trust, for the charity rather, has always been to help those less fortunate families. And that's what he has been doing, or we have been doing throughout the number of years. If I dare say, the numbers of those families have been growing, like you said, you know, throughout the years, and we try our utmost best to assist where we can. Right now, we are helping over 800 families in total. We had about 500 children that we just helped send with our back to school program. This was just completed in September, and now we're looking forward to our Christmas program. This is where the fundraising event comes into play, and we have over 300 families there that we want to assist come this Christmas season.
Now, I've experienced your Christmas program and what you do and how much joy you bring to the faces of little ones and
Yes.
families generally as well. So the Soko Goes Gold 5, the Calypso Kings edition, is returning in 2023,
are.
but for a very worthy cause, because the trust is putting it on as a major fundraiser to be able to accomplish many of these goals they're hoping to in 2023. So tell us more about the show.
Exactly. So we all know how a charity runs, and we really cannot run on our own. We need help from those who can assist. So shout out to Corporate Barbados. You know, if you can, we need assistance. But I want to put in the plug for the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust, who has been our lifetime donor throughout these number of years. Pippa and her team, we want to say thank you for their consistent and continued support for our many undertakings which we were not able to accomplish without them being one of our biggest donors. And of course, to those sponsors who come on board from time to time, we want to thank you. And this is where the fundraising event comes into play, because we need assistance so that we in turn can help those families around this Christmas coming time.
Absolutely. So it comes off
on November 29th.
November 29th.
Yes. It is going to be held at the Wyndham Sam Norris Castle. I know they changed the name a bit. It's a bit lengthy, but it's going to be held at the Sam Norris Castle Resort and Spa on November 29th. The show starts at 8 p.m. We want you all to come out. I know the location has changed somewhat, but carpool if you must and come out. It's going to be a very good show. We know it's a good vibe. You know, you get a mature kind of audience coming out to support, and it's going to be a very, very good show, I think.
I can imagine it's dubbed the Calypso Kings edition.
Yes.
So you have RPB, the Mighty Gabby, Edwin Yearwood, John King, Adrian Clark, Blood Classic, iWeb, Serenader.
The
just
best
a few
of the
names
best
that I'm seeing here. And it's under the patronage of Senator Dr. Chantel Monroe Knight as well, Minister with responsibility for the Ministry of Culture.
Yes.
So, you know, lots of engagement, but all for a worthy cause. So talk to us about what it will cost for us to come on up to Sam Norris Castle. And the long drive and carpooling was said just like somebody who's not from St. Philip, because we know that that's a beautiful drive, that you'll enjoy some good country air
and
on your way
more
there.
like an excursion for those who are coming from far.
And it's a beautiful location.
It is.
The renovation is absolutely
impeccable,
gorgeous. So talk to us about what it will take for us to be able to come on out and experience this Kings of Calypso edition.
Well, I just got word that all the $100 early bird tickets, Tier 1 tickets, have been sold
Oh,
out.
no.
So we're now at 125 Barbados dollars, and thereafter it's $150 at the door. So I encourage you to go out and get your tickets today. You know, if you need for us to, you can always call the office at the number below. If you need us to deliver tickets to you or what have you, or you can go to any of our box offices where the tickets are available, namely CS Pharmacy. You have tickets at the iShop at Sheraton Center, A&B Music in Wildy, Sports and Games in Independence Square, and of course you can always go online on Ticket Links and get your tickets. That's just to name a few of the where tickets are available.
All right, so we want to make sure that people can go everywhere.
Yes.
You know, it's all about convenience to be able to get your tickets. And I know that people can go on Ticket Links, that's with a Z, .com to get your tickets. But there are many older people who might want to go to a physical location. So CS Pharmacy, like you said, iShop, Forever Blessed, Saul Warren's, Rubis in Coberly, Oasis, Massey Worthing and Sunset Crest, Empowered Sky Mall, A&B Music, Wildy, Sports and Games, Independence Square, and of course at the charity office as well.
Yes, you can call us and we can, if you cannot, you can call us and order tickets if you wish, and we can always deliver them to you if that's your preference.
Oh, that's truly excellent.
Yes.
And it's all for a worthy cause. I think it's important for us to be able to help each other.
And give back, yes.
And this is a wonderful way to do just that. I know that's exactly what the charity
is all about.
It's about reaching into the communities and helping others. I know that we often don't hear a lot about the work of the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust, but I know you are always working assiduously in the
There's
background.
never a dull moment, because as you can, the families, the less fortunate families, the needy families, that is just increasing on. You always get a call. I will do this show now, and then you will get a call, you know, can you assist with this? Can you assist with that? And we never really want to turn back anyone. So we're here to help.
Absolutely. You know, the truth about the third sector and charities and trusts and so on in Barbados, the truth is that for a long time we talked about vulnerable families and needy families and so on. But I've met so many people over the years who people deem, and it might seem a little derogatory, but you will get what I mean when I say the working poor. People who are working sometimes 7 days a week.
Yes.
Working long hours, and they're barely able to
or
put
cannot
something
on the table,
make ends meet.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful that charities like the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust, that you're working toward assisting Barbadians who might be at a place where they need a little assistance. And it might not be forever. It might be just to get over, you know.
A period.
Yes.
Yes.
And I see that, you know, that's what you're doing. And particularly to be able to take the fundraising in hand and say, hey, we're going to step out and do this show. We know that these Calypsonians are in high demand. It's been quite some time since we've seen all of them on one stage.
Yes.
And really put a show together that they can come out. So Soca Goes Gold 5 at the Wyndham Grand Barbados Sam Lawrence Castle Resort and Spa. Like you said,
it's a long name.
But coming up on Wednesday, November 29th. So you don't have to worry, because the next day
is a bank holiday. And we know Bajans like a bank holiday, so you get to rest the next day. All the proceedings from the show go towards the Christmas program of helping the less fortunate families.
All right. What do you do for the Christmas program? Tell me a little bit about that.
For the Christmas program, we assist those less fortunate families. We give them like food vouchers. They get bottled gas, and of course they get the ham to put on the table to make it feel as festive as we can.
Yeah, I know it's practical stuff.
Yes.
And I also know that you award the young people who are part
throughout
of
different communities. Yes, we do.
You know, for how they're performing
school, good work in school. If they need assistance, maybe with maybe a computer, you know, anything of that nature, we assist where we can.
All right, that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Billy June Langdon, Public Relations Officer with the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust, telling us all about Soca Goes Gold 5, the Calypso Kings edition. It's returning, and it's all for a worthy cause. You know, it's going to be 8 o'clock, Sam Lawrence Castle, November 29th. You don't want to miss it. Go out and get your tickets. $25, $125.
$125, Tisha.
$125 for the general admission, or you pay more at the door. So get your tickets in the early and support this worthy cause. Thank you again, BJ.
Thanks for having us.
All right, and thanks to everyone who's a part of the charity as well, especially you, Dwayne. Have a wonderful day. We're going to take a break here and come back and wrap up today's presentation of Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Get ready for a night of nostalgia as the Eden Lodge Youth Charitable Trust, in association with the Sandy Lane Charitable Trust and 94.7 FM, recaptures the excitement of competition with the COB Credit Union Soca Goes Gold Calypso Kings, a night of memories. John King Blood Classic Serenader, Adrian Clark, I Wear Edwin Yearwood, RPB and the Mighty Gabby, performing their winning hits through the years. MC Mark Fingal, an unforgettable night at the elegant Wyndham Grand, Sam Lord's Castle, November 29. Tickets only $100 from all Ticket Links locations or call 851-7622.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I'm Anne St. John, a consultant pediatrician. When packing healthy lunch boxes, do include a fruit, which includes a banana, apple, orange, or grapes to supply fiber. Aim for low-calorie packaged snacks without the mention of flour or sugar amongst the four ingredients on the back label. 1 in 3 children in Barbados is affected by overweight or obesity. Let us join together as parents and care providers to reduce the further development of this chronic non-communicable disease within our communities.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We want to thank you for spending some time with us this morning on Morning Barbados. Remember, we'll be back with you tomorrow when we'll be talking all about NIFCA. There's going to be a drive-through movie night and competition screening coming up. We'll tell you more about that. Plus, you meet an exceptional youth. We love to promote what our young people are doing. That and a whole lot more coming up tomorrow on the Thursday installment of Morning Barbados. So wear your smiles today. Remember to do something nice for someone else and come on back to us. All right? Tomorrow, Morning Barbados. Join us from 6:30. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.